Hey guys, it is Monday, April 16th, and no, April 15th. Happy Tax Day in the US. I'm just home with my sick baby. He had a fever all night last night. It broke this morning, but he's got some sort of cold. So I'm home from work with him, and I just put him down for a nap, and I'm waiting for him to be quiet for just a little bit of time so that I know he's asleep. And then I'm going to go down to the farm and do some more farm work, and thought I would bring you guys with me because that is, it's fun to watch in time-lapse form, I think. But anyway, while we hang out and wait for confirmation that Ben is asleep, I thought I would just share something absolutely monumental, and that is that I finally weaned Benny from his sleep crutch. For all of his life, he has been hooked to a bottle to get him back to sleep. I weaned him a long time ago, back when he was like a year old. I weaned him onto just warm water, so at least his teeth are not being exposed to milk all throughout the night. But, you know, he's just been a terrible sleeper for the past 16 months. Absolutely horrendous. And it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And it's so ironic because he started out as my best sleeper for the first 8 months of his life. He was sleeping through the night. And as you guys have heard me say over and over, like here and there throughout all my videos for the past year and a half, I have been lamenting about the fact that I am physically and psychologically destroyed by his horrible sleep hygiene, like his horrible sleep habits for the past year and a half. And so I haven't had it in me to break him from the sleep crutch, because he wakes up and he screams for a refill of his bottle. But as long as I fill it up and give it to him, he immediately goes back to sleep. So it was very disruptive for me, for all of us really, to have to get up, wake up, get jarred out of my sleep, get up out of bed, come out here, get a warm bottle, of water, go back, give it to him, try to fall back asleep, over and over and over. And it went from like 3 to 4 times a night to 4 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8. The past couple months, it's been 7 to 8 times at night. And then leading up to a couple weeks ago, he was waking up 9 to 10 times every night. Basically every hour, he was waking up, screaming for a refill. And I'm not talking just that, but I was having to change his diaper 5, 6 times at night because he's waterboarding himself all night long. And we were having leaks and this and that, and he hated having his diaper changed. So there's screaming and waking up my other kids and waking up my husband. And of course, I've been a wreck this whole time. I'm putting so many demands on my body as it is, just trying to stay up to speed in the house with my other kids, with chores, with the farm, working out, work. And I was never getting any sleep. So finally I just hit a wall, and I'm like, this has got to stop. This is completely unhealthy for everybody. And I packed up the bottles and I put them away. And that's it. The first night was terrible. It took him an hour to fall asleep. He was so mad. He understood when I said wobbies night night, because we call it his wobbies. And when we say night night, it means something is put away, it's asleep, it's not accessible. So he understood what was going on, and he was enraged by it. And then he woke up at midnight and didn't fall back asleep until 3. But I didn't cave in. I sleep with him in his room, so I'm not doing like cry it out. I'm in there with him. I'm comforting him. I'm rocking him, singing to him, bouncing him. I'm still up and on my feet. When he's up, I'm up. Petting him. I try to bring him into my bed. He's not really a co-sleeper. He'll nap with me, but he doesn't like to sleep in the bed with me during the night. So I'm with him. We're in the trenches together. But second and third nights, remarkably easier. And ever since the 4th night, he's been sleeping through the night. He goes to sleep on his own. He sleeps through the night until the morning. My body is in a state of complete shock and awe. For the first time in a year and a half, I am sleeping through the night. And like, prior to all of this, even when my baby was sleeping through the night, like when he was a baby, I was still getting up and pumping. I pumped until he was like a year old. So I was still going up every 3 hours to pump. So actually, Benny turns 2 in 2 weeks. So for all intents and purposes, if you consider the prodromal labor I had, like the wild prodromal labor I was having in the last month of pregnancy, it has been over 2 years since I have actually slept through the night. And I'm just in a state of physical, mental, spiritual, and psychological shock. It's unbelievable. Anyway, he's asleep. So let's go down to the farm and get some work done. I expect him to sleep for 2 hours, so we should be able to get a fair amount of work done before he wakes up. And I have to go get the big kids from school. So here we go. This is the hardest patch of the farm there is to weed because it was allowed to grow a lot during just the normal summer months last year. It's where we planted our new potatoes, so we had taken them up early. Anyway, these roots and weeds and grass and stuff are just so deep in and integrated into the earth. So this whole little patch that you guys are seeing me do took me an entire hour to do yesterday while Benny was sleeping. And both boys were sick the next day, so I had them both home, and so here Benny is napping, and Sander and I are out there continuing with the weeding. This was an hour and a half's worth of work. It's just so slow moving with those deep roots and widespread plants. Hey fam, welcome to my laundry room. Glamorous backdrop, I know, but it's just a couple days later. It's Wednesday the 17th, and now I am home with all 3 kids who are now sick. This probably has everything to do with it. My baby, who was the Trojan horse of this virus, is just putting his tongue on everything right now. Surfaces, objects, and faces. Like he's a living, breathing hot zone, this one. So anyway, I'm also starting to feel a little bit under the weather, and it's good timing because and this is the reason I'm filming this, I have been in desperate need for the past several weeks of a deload week, which is a week where you just decrease your workouts and you just give your body a frickin' hot minute to recover. You just take a week where you take a step back and you let your joints have some room to breathe and recover, and your connective tissues, and of course your muscles and everything like that. The straw that broke the camel's back is actually my knees, because I've started to squat a lot more with barbell squatting, and I've noticed that my knees are not recovering well. And I don't think it's a technique thing. It just feels like a lot of stiffness. I don't have pain, but it's just stiffness and tightness. And it's like when I wake up in the morning, I'm not recovered. Like it's even worse when I wake up in the morning. I'm just very, very stiff. But aches and pains aside, my number one main thing is I don't have it in me right now. I've got no oomph left, and everything inside of me is begging and screaming for a break. I'm no longer able to overload. I've actually been dropping the weight on a lot of my lifts and just increasing reps to get that proper stimulus for muscle growth, but that I can actually safely perform because my form is starting to suffer. There's no gas in my body right now. I'm getting a little stressed. I'm feeling stressed out ahead of going to the gym. I'm feeling very stressed out at the gym. And I think it's because the amount of effort I need to psychologically summon in order to get my body to perform and do the things that I want it to is getting so much beyond what I'm actually capable of doing. So we're going to kind of do a resetting of the systems. I'm going to take off from the gym. I'm not even going to do a deload. I'm going to do an active rest. I'm going to just focus on working on the farm. I'm not stepping foot in a gym until minimum Monday, possibly not until Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and take a whole week. Well, I just came out to do more farm work. That's Elsa. And it has started to hail. Oh, it's like, anyway, yep, come with me in this beautiful Swedish April weather. And let's get some farm shit done, yeah? Okay, here we go. guys, it is now April 24th. It's a Wednesday, and I ended up taking 5 days off of the gym. So I returned back on Monday of this week and wanted to record a couple things I have recognized, mostly just for myself, but also in case it's something you guys have experienced or, are experiencing, or I don't know. Like, why am I even filming any of this to begin with? I'm just sharing my journey. So I don't know how much rest I actually got last week when I took time off of the gym, because not only was I super active on the farm, but I also got super sick from the virus that my kids brought home from school. And I'm still dealing with it now. So while I'm getting an incredibly better quality and quantity of sleep at night, now that my baby is no longer waking up every hour, I just still feel really dragged, to be honest, and really gassed. But I thought that after taking all those days off of the gym from heavy lifting, that I would show up on Monday and feel like a rejuvenation in my body and like, oh yeah, this is starting to feel a lot better. The weight is moving a lot better. My mind, I'm feeling less stressed. My mind is feeling better. But unfortunately, that was not the case. And I think what that means is that I just need still more time to recover from the fatigue that I have accumulated over the past 6 months. Basically, I'm just doing a traditional deload this week. I'm decreasing the amount of weight I'm moving, and I'm also decreasing the amount of exercises, the number of exercises I'm doing, just so that I can ease back into things. And maybe I need to rewrite my programs. Maybe I'm overtraining and I need to scale it back so that things are a little bit more sustainable. I just don't know these things until I reach this point. So that's where I'm at. Okay guys, it is April 30th and I weighed myself this morning. We're gonna do measurements real quick, and I will put at the end frame my gains or losses for all my measurement points, including weight. So here we go. Hey guys, happy May Day in the US, happy Labor Day for those of us in Europe. It is a Wednesday, but there's no work today, and so my husband is at home with the kids, and I'm gonna hit the gym and do arms and shoulders real quick before I take over with the kids and my husband can study. But I thought I would take this minute to just wrap up this video, and so let's dive right in. I'm gonna put up my plus and minus weight and measurement differentials, and what you see on the screen right now is my plus or minus change since last month. So this is just the change that has occurred over the past 4 weeks, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little like, oh, when I saw my hip measurements, but then I remembered that when I took my measurements yesterday, my period is due in 3 days. So, and I've been feeling bloated. So I think that accounts for a little bit of the inflation there, but it's hard to say. But I did gain a half a kilo this month, which is 1 pound, which, you know, is good. I'm very pleased with that. I don't remember about any other gains or measurements from month over month, but now here, these measurements are what I have gained or lost since I started my bulk 3 months ago. And off the top of my memory, the things that stick out are that I've gained 3.5 kilo, which is 7.7 pounds, which is perfect. It's right on track. But I have gained 5 centimeters in my glutes, and I see that. I see that change in my pictures when I'm looking in the mirror at the gym in my profile. Like, I definitely see that change. So that's really exciting. That's one thing where I can see the progress there, and the measurements also back it up. So that's really exciting. And the past couple workouts I've had, I feel like my normal self again. I've had so much strength and energy, and I hit a new hip thrust PR only by 1 kilo. But I easily could have loaded on more weight. I just didn't want to overdo it. But I definitely could have loaded more weight on that bar. And so this Friday, when I do my full body day, I'm going to see how that goes. So, oh my God, I want to show you guys one more thing before I end this video. Look at this picture. This is shocking to me. So I started this fitness journey 6 months ago. And that has included 3 months of diet and now 3 months of a surplus building phase. This picture, the top row, were those pictures I took when I was still bleeding from that miscarriage and just in the throes of grief. It was ground zero. I weighed 69.2 kilo in that picture, which is like 153 pounds, I think, if memory serves. And the bottom row of pictures is my current progress pictures from just now, 6 months later. I weigh 68.65 kilo, which is a half kilo less than the top row. Only a 1 pound difference. I weigh 1 pound less in my current progress pictures on the bottom than I did when I started 6 months ago. Isn't it fascinating? That's why they say the scale is just a number. You cannot just rely on the scale. You have to take measurements, you have to take progress pictures, because the whole muscle and fat volume is different. And how it looks on the body is much different. So it's so exciting to know that I weigh almost the same as I did in that top row, but I look so much different, because that definitely means I've put on muscle mass, because I've clearly lost body fat. Now I am fluffier and I'm starting to gain. I mean, you see that in my hip measurements. I am gaining body fat, but that's part of this surplus process. So I feel like things are going in the right direction. And if you happened upon this video and, I don't know, you're just starting out, or I don't know, this is only 6 months. I don't know if that sounds like a lot of time. I don't think 6 months is a lot of time. And it's crazy what you can do to transform your body, your health, your mind, etc. So I don't know. This inspires me to keep going, because when I look at myself on the day-to-day, I'm just like, meh. But when you're able to mash up the pictures over an expanse of time, you look at it and you're like, damn, I did that? That's me? That happened? Is that really how much has changed? Because again, I live in my body every second of the day, and it just feels like it's going at a snail's pace sometimes. So there you go. Anyway, I'm pulling up at the gym now, so I'm going to cut her off, and that's the end of my 3rd month, and we march on into month 4 of bulking. So here we go.